Queen's COVID scare has reignited debate over the current Counsellors of State. In the event the Queen could not undertake her official duties as sovereign on a temporary basis due to illness, 2 or more Counsellors of State are appointed by letters patent to act in her place. Counsellors of State are appointed from among the following: the monarch's consort, which was the late Duke of Edinburgh, and the 4 adults over the age of 21 next in succession. These are currently the Prince of Wales, the Duke of Cambridge, the Duke of Sussex and the Duke of York. With Charles contracting COVID, and the Duke of Cambridge abroad in Dubai, if both the Queen and Charles were too unwell to carry out duties, the role would fall to Andrew and Harry. Andrew has stepped back permanently from royal life while he fights a civil sexual assault case, while Harry is in the US, having also quit as a senior working royal. Charles is understood not to have serious symptoms after testing positive on Thursday. Former BBC royal correspondent Peter Hunt tweeted, "With Prince Charles isolating and Prince William abroad, is Prince Andrew limbering up in case he needs to be a Counsellor of State, or can Prince Harry do it, virtually?" Second in line, William is however only away on a whirlwind tour and is set to return from the UAE on Friday. But, in the event Counsellors of State were needed, he would only be one of the 2 required. Concern for the Queen's health has mounted after she was in direct contact with her son and heir Charles on Tuesday. The 95-year-old is not displaying any symptoms, but Buckingham Palace refused to confirm whether she had tested positive or negative for COVID, citing medical privacy. The Queen is empowered to appoint counsellors under the Regency Acts 1937-53. There have been suggestions the Duchess of Cornwall could become a Counsellor of State, but legislation would be required for this to happen as she is not in the line of succession. She will automatically become one, as Queen Consort, when Charles becomes king, as the wife of a sovereign. Andrew and Harry remain in the line of succession, but the fact that Harry is out of the UK living in California could potentially disqualify him from a Counsellor of State role, although he could travel back to London if ever required. Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, is known to be supportive and has made Prince Charles happier in his life. Camilla Tominey, a broadcaster, claimed that Prince William and Prince Harry have accepted Camilla as their stepmother when they attend their father, Prince Charles's marriage. It is believed that Camilla has always been by Prince Charles' side as a pillar, just like the Duke of Edinburgh has been with the Queen. Camilla Tominey, a broadcaster and a journalist, told Australia Today Show, "I think people reflected on the wedding in the last decade, and what they're saying to themselves is if Princes William and Harry have accepted Camilla as their stepmother, and indeed they both attended the wedding. William was even a witness to it, who are the rest of the country and indeed themselves to complain? They know that she's not only made their father a happier man but arguably a better man. They also know that as monarch needs a stalwart support by his side. That's what the Queen had with the Duke of Edinburgh. That's what George VI had with the Queen Mother, and therefore why shouldn't Charles have his wife who he loves by himself as Queen?" The Queen announced Camilla to be the Queen Consort when Prince Charles becomes the King on her Platinum Jubilee, despite previously stating that Camilla would be known as Princess Consort. It is assumed that the Queen wants Camilla to be Prince Charles' side to help him oversee both professional and personal responsibilities. Speaking to GB News, Professor Anna Whitelock, a historian, said, "Not Princess Consort as was previously suggested, but Queen, in that sense, acknowledging the role that Camilla plays for Charles similar to that of Philip. A key supporter, a key ally, and I think the Queen is reflecting on the fact that you can't do that job alone, and she wants Camilla absolutely officially as well as personally to be by his side." Body language expert Judy James told that Prince Charles and Camilla's relationship speaks volumes about love. She said, "It has become clear over the past few weeks exactly how much vital support Camilla quietly provides for her husband." Her body language suggests a woman who is reluctant to step into the spotlight as a royal in her own right and who understands the risk involved in eclipsing her sometimes difficult husband, but she also appears finely tuned to his moods and his needs and perfectly placed to be the perfect complementary fit in terms of their relationship. With his father's illness and death, the public saw a different side to Charles, who looked openly devastated on both his last hospital visit and at the funeral. Analyzing Charles's body language at his father's funeral, Ms. James noted Camilla patted her husband on the leg. She said, as he sat weeping in the pews, Camilla appeared to offer a reassuring pat on his leg, apparently aware that he was tackling not just grief but also the sight of the son he had lost to the U.S. As a wife and future queen, Camilla appears to place Charles first and her own profile much lower down a long list. Her role seems to be as his rock in the way that she tends to mirror him visually but also allow him to take the lead on visits and trips, shows a desire to promote his success rather than look for any fame or attention of her own. She added, "This sense of unconditional love and attention seems to boost the confidence of a man who is known for his anxiety rituals and who can often appear overly reflective and melancholy." His dress style has become more dapper and his body language in front of the cameras shows Camilla encourages his inner performer.